back to my kitchen. I don't know about the rest of you, but it is definitely hot, summery July weather around here, and that means delicious summer treats. Today we're going to be making a sourdough lemon pound cake, and be sure to stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to show you what you can do with those lemon rinds besides just throwing them in the trash or the compost. All right, let's get to it. All right, so we're going to start this recipe off by melting 1 stick of butter, or 1/2 cup, and we are going to go ahead and add that to a bowl. You'll want the bowl to be large enough that all of the batter will fit into it by the end, because this is going to be the main bowl that we're adding everything into. So pour that melted butter into that mixing bowl and go ahead and scoop in 1/2 cup of maple sugar. Now, I know that maple sugar is not really all that common. It's what I like to use. I like to go with just, less refined sugars and more natural sugars whenever I can. However, you can totally substitute this for just regular cane sugar or brown sugar. Or you could actually even do honey for this recipe, but then you would want to increase the flour by about 1/4 cup. Anyway, once you have your butter and your sugar creamed together, we're going to go ahead and then add in 2 eggs. Just crack those right in there and whisk those in together as well. Okay, once that is all finished, we will move on to juicing and zesting the lemon. So we are going to go for 2 tablespoons of lemon zest and 1/4 cup of lemon juice, which I find is pretty perfect just for using 1 lemon. I can get about 2 tablespoons of zest off of 1 lemon and about 1/4 cup of lemon juice from 1 lemon as well. Now remember, like I said at the beginning, don't just toss those lemon rinds because we are going to use them. So that is all just going to get mixed together, so we're just going to work on that, and then we'll move on to our dry ingredients. Alright, so that is all of the ingredients that needed creamed together. So we're going to go ahead and get a second bowl, and we're going to measure out our dry ingredients. This is going to include 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You're just going to mix that all together in that second bowl so that that is combined, and then you're just going to set that aside so that we can move on to our wet ingredients in a few minutes. And now, finally, in a third bowl, or I'm just using a glass measuring cup here, we're going to combine our wet ingredients, and that is going to include 1/2 cup of sourdough discard. I really do prefer to use the discard for this and not an active starter, just because we don't really want to leaven this recipe. We're just going for the fermented grains. And then we're going to add in 3/4 cup of milk and just mix that all together. I probably should have had a bigger bowl here. As you can see, I'm kind of spilling it over the side, but that's okay. We're just going to get that all mixed together, and then we're going to start adding in the wet ingredients and alternating that with the dry ingredients. So we'll add a little bit of the wet ingredients and mix it in, really well, and then we'll add in a little bit of the dry ingredients and mix that in really well, and we'll go back and forth doing that a few times until everything is all well combined. After those wet and dry ingredients are well combined into the batter, you'll want to just let this set at room temperature for about 6 to 8 hours to reap the benefits of those fermented grains. Now, if you have any reserve about fermenting recipes at room temperature that have eggs in them, I would encourage you to check out the blog post. I go into detail on why I personally think that's okay. If you don't feel that that is alright, you do have the alternative to ferment this in the fridge for about 24 to 30 hours. But again, I go into a little more detail on that in the blog post, so just be sure to check that out. Now, once it's time to bake the cake, you'll want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees and line a 9x5 loaf pan with parchment paper and bake for about 50 to 60 minutes until the edges are set and a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. Let it set for about 30 minutes just to cool down, and then go ahead and slice this beautiful lemon pound cake and enjoy. Okay, so now you're left with these lemon rinds, and I'm going to show you what you can do with them. Instead of just throwing them in the trash or composting them with your other kitchen scraps, we're going to make an all-purpose cleaner by first making a really simple lemon vinegar. To do that, we're just going to put them in the jar like I have. We're just going to top it off with some plain white vinegar and let it set for a few weeks. After that, I'll show you just a couple ingredients that we're going to add to turn this into a really effective, really simple, all natural, all safe, all-purpose cleaner. So it's a couple weeks later at this point actually. The vinegar has set and we now have this lemon infused vinegar, which is going to be the perfect base for this all-purpose cleaner. I'm just going to strain this through a cheesecloth so that I don't have any pieces of pulp or seeds left in my vinegar, and then I'm going to add a couple more ingredients to it. Once that is strained through and in your jar, we're going to go ahead and add in 1/2 cup of witch hazel. Witch hazel is basically just a distilled liquid that is made from the witch hazel plant. And then we're going to just add in some essential oils. Honestly, you could put really whatever you think smells nice, but I like to do a blend of lemon, cinnamon, and thyme, about 10 drops each, just because those are some oils that have antimicrobial properties and antibacterial properties, and of course they smell really good. Whenever you clean with this, I promise your house will smell amazing. So add those ingredients together and top your jar off with a lid and shake it really well, and then just add it to a spray bottle and you're ready to go. This is really so effective. I only have 4 things in my cleaning cabinet, and that includes this all-purpose cleaner, Castile soap, baking soda, and reusable cleaning cloths. That's how effective this is. I can use it on basically any surface for basically any job, and it just works really, really well. Alright, well I hope that you all enjoyed the recipe this week, and I hope that you found this inspiring to use everything in your kitchen to the fullest and cut down on waste whenever you can. Thank you all so much for joining me this week, and I would so appreciate it if you would decide to like this video and even subscribe, and leave a comment below if you decide to try either of these in your own kitchen. Until next week, friends, I will see you all then.